Welcome all my friends to an epic, hot, and steamy adventure by the lady of the ladies, the Catwoman.
I think the bubbles are probably ready now.
Everything begins in Spain, at a grand masquerade ball, which is held at an outbound mansion for the elite. Many of the guests are dressed as superheroes and arrive in their luxurious rides. Black Mask and his entourage arrive in a dark limousine, intimidating everyone around. Soon, they meet Selina Kyle, who wears an old-style Catwoman costume. Black Mask escorts her into the party. Tobias Whale greets Black Mask and almost gets taken down by his entourage. He takes Mask and his men to meet their hostess, Leviathan's leader, Lady Barbara Minerva, and Mask hands over his entrance fee to join the organization. As they secure it in the vault, Selina slips away from the party into the powder room. Outside, Selina's cat Isis distracts the security staff, prompting them to turn off the motion sensors. Selina changes to her current Catwoman costume.
You know, I appreciate the classics, but I move with the times.
Sneaks onto the roof and plants a device to loop the security camera footage. Catwoman successfully infiltrates the vault and takes Mask's payment, the cat's eye emerald, but a batarang out of nowhere hits the emerald's pedestal and sets off the alarm. But Selina is quick enough to escape the closing doors of the vault. Catwoman evades the guards and accidentally bursts into the party, where many of the guests attempt to take her down with their guns and swords. Somehow, she manages to evade all her attackers and sneak into her car, while the Leviathan men fail to reach her.
Call me Catwoman.
She rides into the mountains in her car with Isis, her pet kitty, playing with the cat's eye emerald. Tobias Whale, Black Mask's men and others pursue her in multiple cars. She is able to shake them off while riding through the winding and narrow mountain road. Finally, she shakes off Whale by making his car crash into a roadside construction field. She thought she escaped, only to be cut off by Batwoman's Batcycle, causing her to crash. Whale finds the crashed car and the emerald, but Catwoman is gone. He returns it to Minerva, who is determined to punish Catwoman for her transgression, and blames Black Mask for escorting her into the event as well. Selina is awoken by Isis on a jet. She is greeted by the Batwoman, and it seems like Interpol agents Julia Pennyworth and King Faraday have taken her into custody. They explain that Batwoman planted a tracer on the emerald before Black Mask acquired it, and they are now following him and Minerva. Leviathan has grown enormously in wealth and power, and they are determined to bring it down. They intend to track Minerva to a meeting of all the senior members of the cartel. They offer to clear Selina's multiple arrest warrants, noting her unusually high level of activity lately if she helps take Leviathan down. Meanwhile, aboard her own jet, Minerva, surrounded by the entourage of Black Mask, calls in a hit on Catwoman. The Interpol jet lands in Shanghai airport, and Pennyworth and Faraday leave to track the precise location of the meeting. Selina takes a bath and uses the opportunity to distract Batwoman, and, unfortunately, the Batwoman gives in to her desires and falls for the tricks of Selina. On the other hand, Selina successfully obtains her phone and uses it to contact Holly to check in on Anya and the other girls, promising to return soon with enough money to keep them safe. Elsewhere, Lady Barbara convenes the meeting of Leviathan and introduces Black Mask to the other cartel leaders, Mr. Yakuza, the leader of the Japanese Yakuza Foundation, Dr. Tsin Zhao Tsin of the Chinese mob, La Dama of the Latin American cartel, and finally, Moxie Mannheim. All of them unanimously confirm his membership, despite some past tension between Mask and Mannheim. The members are concerned about a setback in Sochi, but Minerva attempts to placate them. The Interpol jet is back in the air, and Batwoman and Catwoman prepare for action. Julia calls for Catwoman to create a distraction, and Batwoman has Selina skydive onto their target, after gifting her a new pair of upgraded goggles. Catwoman makes the jump, leaving Batwoman and Julia suspicious at how easy she was to make her do it. Anyway, Catwoman lands on the target roof, but is quickly confronted by Cheshire, who has been sent to kill her by Leviathan.
A cat always.
Yeah, lands on her feet. I've heard the saying. Don't you ever get tired of all that cat shtick?
As they fight, they reminisce on their previous encounter. As Cheshire gets the upper hand, Batwoman comes to Catwoman's aid, but Cheshire has her own backup, Nosferatu, a new assassin from the League of Shadows. Batwoman and Nosferatu engage in an aerial battle as the cats resume their fight on the rooftop. Eventually, all four crash through the skylight into the meeting room, with the three flightless combatants clinging to Nosferatu. Catwoman kicks Cheshire to the ground. Then Batwoman and Catwoman ride Nosferatu into the floor, leaving both assassins disabled. Catwoman and Batwoman pick themselves up to find themselves surrounded by Leviathan and their guards. Black Mask has his men open fire, and doesn't hesitate to shoot one of his own men when he gets in the way. As they fight, Mannheim and his men activate their apocalyptic armor. Dr. Tsin smashes 2 test tubes to the ground, each generating an alchemical monster, and La Dama chants in Latin to summon a pair of demons. Now this is just too many to fight, right? Just too many, if you would ask me. Catwoman is able to handle Mr. Yakuza's katana-wielding guards before he himself challenges her to a duel. Thanks to her training from Lady Shiva, Catwoman is more than a match for him, but Tobias Whale then makes her his target. Meanwhile, Batwoman faces off against the demons. Batwoman gags La Dama with some putty, leaving the demons unable to understand her instructions. Batwoman translates for her.
Now she's saying you should go home.
And the demons obey her. Batwoman notes that lower demons are very dumb before knocking La Dama out. She then calls in help from Julia, and armed Interpol backup finally arrives. They manage to take down Dr. T. Zin's monsters with masked gunfire, while Julia knocks out Black Mask and King disables Mannheim and his men with taser devices. They then take Dr. Tsin at gunpoint before he can create more monsters. Finally, after a long fight, Catwoman takes down Tobias Whale with a kick to the groin. The emerald is retrieved, and everyone is taken into custody, except Minerva, who escaped. Catwoman is free to go according to their deal, and they let her go with a clean sheet, just for her to start over again. On the Eiffel Tower, Catwoman admires her latest acquisition, a diamond necklace, but she has to face a horde of 52 assassins sent by Leviathan. Fortunately, Batwoman arrives to help, and the two compete over how many assassins they can take down. Now this is getting out of hand, people. The two women are taking down ninjas like flies. How can this be? When all the assassins are defeated, Catwoman celebrates her victory, though she counts ISIS's takedowns as hers. Observing from a helicopter, Minerva deploys their backup plan, a crate containing Solomon Grundy. The zombie takes down Batwoman, then pursues Catwoman. She leads him to a construction site while taunting him about being a zombie. She then uses a pack of dynamite to blow off his head, confident he never permanently dies. Solomon Grundy goes down, and in comes another big shot as Lady Minerva emerges from the flames. She shocks Catwoman by transforming into the cheetah. Catwoman runs from the literal Catwoman and creates another explosion as a distraction. Selina is badly wounded, and ironically now she is playing cat and mouse with her being the mouse. Unfortunately, Selina is bleeding, and the cheetah is tracking her blood. Catwoman eventually flees up a crane with tremendous effort, but Cheetah still pursues her. Finally, while standing face to face on the crane, Catwoman goads Cheetah, telling her she was responsible for Sochi, then manages to choke Cheetah with her whip after catching her on the jump. Lightning then strikes the crane, making both fall down on towards the construction site. Batwoman arrives and saves Catwoman, while Cheetah falls onto some metal spikes on the ground. From the helicopter, Talia al Ghul notes she will need another proxy to cover for her as Leviathan's real leader, and that she now has another reason to hate Selina Kyle. Is it because of the Dark Knight, the Batman? Makes us really wonder, right? As Interpol takes Grundy and Cheetah into custody with inhibitor collars, Catwoman says goodbye to King and Batwoman. She is not convinced that Minerva was Leviathan's real leader, and becomes angry when it is implied she did not care about taking down Leviathan, reminding the others of their human trafficking. After she leaves, Julia arrives and tells the others the cat's eye emerald is missing. Now that is not surprising to me at all. Aboard a ferry, Selina admires the emerald before getting a call from Holly. Selina assures her she has all the money she needs to help Anya and the other girls from Sochi. She promises she'll be back in Gotham City soon, once she picks up a few things from the Tower of London. Honestly, guys, I just can't wait to know what happens when Catwoman gets to London and goes back to Gotham. Tell us what you guys think. Thank you for watching Second Look. Like, comment, share, and subscribe for more awesome videos. Have a nice day.